Hello, my name is Walt. This is going to be a mod review for the mobile base mod. Among the mods being used with this is the Digimobs mod. I don't need to use that, but it adds in the machine biome, which is very useful for this mod. I'll find out why later. None of items mod, which again is not a necessity, but it helps. Bottom right hand corner is the Rise minimap mod. Yep, that's all I can remember right now. Oh yeah, and the what am I looking at mod. Okay, the necessities. To make a tent, you'll need a blank blueprint. It's a Olympus Lazuli and a paper. But to actually build the tent first, you will need lots of wool of any color and a few wooden fence. Now, in my opinion, it's always a good idea to start with the middle. Establishes your height and your center. I'm gonna make a 5 one high because that's as high as you can go, and I always like making big ones. That's my center. So now I'm going to make one branch. You can extend this up to 6 blocks. But there's where your wall is gonna have to be. Oh yes, another mod that I'm using, the Gene Essentials mod. Get it? It's a really nice mod. It adds in a bunch of stuff, including non-creative fly mode by pressing R. That you don't go out of when you land. Very, very helpful. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm establishing the boundaries of one corner, which can then be used to make all the, which after building this corner, you can use it as a guideline to make all the other corners. Now I'm going to round out the corner. I'm gonna really round this corner out, in fact. Notice how I destroyed this. I don't like the sharp edges that those cause. Now you can just fill in the walls and the floor on the first corner and you'll be done. Okay. Another thing that the Gene Essentials one does, full right. Makes it light up as if it were day, and it works in caves too. So it's good for it's good for survival, but would be kind of considered wrong. But I'm using creative, so I'm not too worried about that. No, I'm doing like at least this first corner that. If it looks like it might need a bit more smoothing out, that's easy to do. Such as right now. Oh yes, that's a much better corner for this large of a tent. That's one corner. Before I move on to anything else, I'm going to make doors. In fact, I'm going to make 4 of them. Forget it. I would make 4 of them if I was making a multi-room tent, because you can do that and it just takes up more inventory slots. And I make the first corner is hard. Oh, it's always harder than the rest of the corners, because you can use the first corner as a basis for the rest of the corners. So that can go 2. Then 3. Then 4. 5. In survival mode, it might be hard to create a tent. It will be hard to get a tent that's large. So you're probably going to want to start with a smaller tent. In fact, I would recommend starting with a smaller tent, because when you go to actually build the tent item, which you only have to do if you're in survival and creative, you don't have to do it. You can build it directly from the blueprint, which will generate the item. And see, that's how you do the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarters. Oops, I forgot the floor. Very important. Without the floor, your tent won't keep any items. Found that out the hard way. Now I'm gonna skip ahead to when I have all the corners done. The tent is finished. Oh, except for the floor. Now the tent is done. Except, how do you turn this into a mobile tent? That's when you take your blank blueprint, click on the bottom of the center pole for best results, then click again. Give it a name. For me, it's gonna be huge tent, because it's huge. For the X, I put 0 because I took it 6 out from the center. So how many out from the center? -1. Y, I put 7 because I have the maximum height. Z, I put 7 because it's pretty much the same as the X. And you save, and you have it. How do you make the tent? You can use this in creative, but not in survival. So, how do you make a tent in survival? Well, you have to go to build the tent builder, which requires a crafting table and a blueprint to make a tent builder. Now, in order to use the tent builder, you're going to need a lot of wool, a little bit of fence, and then probably what is the worst thing that you have to get? Ender pearls. That's on it, should only stack 16. Yeah. Oh well, lucky me. Now you put down your tent builder, right click on it, your blueprint goes into the blueprint slot, wool goes in the wool slot, fence goes in the fence slot, ender pearls go in the ender pearl slot. Hit build, so it's gonna run out of items. This one needs 456 blocks of wool. A lot more than what it took to build it. And here's your item. Save the blueprint for later. You can build multiple ones. Now, in order to place it down, you're gonna need a clear area. Because if you try to place it out here, it's gonna say that the area is not clear. So if you place it down over here, there's enough space in between. Place it down. Now comes the fun part, filling it with items. I always want to make sure that my tent doesn't become extremely dark, so I use glowstone. I also want to fill it with useful items like a crafting table, an anvil, trapped chests and chests, jukebox, enchantment table, ender chest, bed, of course. I always put my bed in the center. You put the inner here. Something I've learned with the anvils. Them on top of ender chests. An ender chest will still open, you can still use the anvil. Put a jukebox there. Crafting table there. Oops, it's off center. This time we'll put the crafting table here and the jukebox here. Come on. I know, Mom. furnaces mod. Better furnaces is also a good one. And I take the best stuff to have. Color in the furnaces. Some way. Now to add some chests. That's a problem when you color this one. One thing I like to do with this glowstone is make it appear to be lining the wall, ensuring that the room gets thoroughly lit up. Everything will still look good. If you haven't noticed, I also like symmetricality. Something with all this blank space. This is where this comes in handy. See what she's on the ends. Well, farmland is listed on. So, some stone slab. A water bucket. I'm sure you might not like doing it, but I'm used to it. This small area to still access the trap chest. the space instead of actually where the wool needs to be. Before I actually plant the farm, do my have to make sure that unwanted bad guys get into your tent. You can just plant some seeds. I always forget where the seeds go. If you have Digimobs, you can plant an ETH plant. Drop the button, but everything else still there. Keeps the growth rate of the plants, and it's waiting till some of the crops grow a bit. Okay, as you can see, some of the meat plants have grown a bit. That one especially. Crops have also grown some. Now when I break this, place it back down, see? The plant's still there. Now, very important, do not forget to do this. Place the button back on there. That's what my idea of a cool tent is.